The Second World War, that's also written long before the event, to originate between Great Britain and Germany, to strengthen communism as antithesis to the Judeo-Christian culture, and bring about a Zionist state in Israel. Did it achieve this objective? Yes. In fact, after this war, Israel, in its present form, was reinstated under the protection of Britain. And then, interestingly enough, a Third World War, a Middle Eastern war involving Judaism and Islam and spreading internationally. That's fascinating. Is that on the cards, or what do you think?
Alexa, when will World War III start?
World War III starts on November 23, 2023 at 6:05 p.m., when Russia launches an attack against Germany.
Hey YouTube world, Harvest is plenty. I hope all is well. Thanks for stopping by to check out the video. I really appreciate it. So thank you guys. So let's get to it. Time is short. I don't want to waste yours. I don't want to waste mine. Redemption is nigh, and things are moving very swiftly across this world. So first, what do you guys think about Alexa? Do you guys think there's any truth into what Alexa said, that Germany will be attacked and that will kick off World War III? I don't know. I guess we would just have to wait till November to see what happens. Maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. Time will tell. So it's crazy what's happening right now in the Middle East. Why is Israel such a centerpiece or linchpin to all the prophecies concerning World War III and what's going on with the Palestinians and that geopolitical conflict with Israel? Russia and the Ukraine, they're still fighting and bombing and killing each other. Now, what happens in the midst of all of this distraction and turmoil if North Korea was to launch a surprise attack against South Korea? What if China was to hit Taiwan? What do you guys think will happen? What if I told you that this was all planned and orchestrated from long ago, and that none of this is by coincidence, even though the controlled news media is telling you that everything is just happenstance? What if it's not happenstance? What if this was orchestrated from the second heaven? If we turn to our Bibles, Ephesians 6:12 says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, and the spiritual wickedness in high places." I'm going to share with you guys today that Lucifer, the fallen angel, the same fallen angel who told Adam and Eve in the garden that if they eat from the tree of good and evil, that they could become gods and become immortal and live forever, he's still waging his war against God and against God's creation. And I'm going to show you guys that today. So please make sure that you watch the whole video. Stay till the end. I got a lot of nuggets included all throughout the video. So make sure you watch it till the end. So, have you also ever thought, how come all the ancient and occult symbols are on the $1 bill? How come they're not on the 10, the 20, the 50, or the 100? How come it's on the 1? Because it's about a one world government, a one world religion, and a one world currency. It goes back to Babylon, when the people were all one after the flood. They spoke one language. They had one purpose. Nimrod was guiding them. He was the first king after the flood. And he was in league with Satan, Lucifer, and the rest of the rebel angels to create a one world government. And God didn't like that, because he told the people to scatter and populate the land after the flood. Let's go to the book of Genesis real quick. Tower of Babel. Genesis chapter 2 verse 1. "And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime they had for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. So the people at the Tower of Babel, they were being trained and schooled by the angels, giving them all this knowledge and wisdom, earthly wisdom, demonic wisdom, to do all these things to wage war against God's people and against God. Nimrod, when you read other works, not only the Bible, but Book of Jasher, Book of Enoch, Book of Jubilee, and all the other early church works and things like that, he said he wanted to not only build a tower in case God decided to flood the earth again, they would be in the tower high above the water. So that was one of the reasons why they built the Tower of Babel. Second, they wanted to reach up into heaven, and they had it was really a ziggurat, but they had like stargates and stuff they were trying to build in place so they could get access to heaven, because he said he wanted to go to heaven and wage war against God. Isn't that crazy? But it's the truth. And so God scattered them. And what happened is the people, even though they didn't speak the same language and they got scattered all across the earth, they still remember what was taking place in Babylon. Even though they didn't speak the same language, they still kept the same ideals and ideas. And the same priesthood, the same magic, the same religion, all of that stuff. They just went to different nations and continue to build. And that's where we're at today. They're coming together to build this one new world order. It was Nimrod's new world order. And that's why it's on the back of the dollar bill. A new Equiptus. Our enterprise has been crowned with success. What enterprise? And I'm reading from the Great Seal to the left with the pyramid. Novus Ordo Seclorum. A new order of the secular world. Secular means without God. And that's the unfinished pyramid to the left. It doesn't have a capstone. It's also known as a trapezoid. And that's what is being orchestrated today. A new world order. A one world government.
I wrote in that book, quote, imagine yourself as a space traveler who visits Earth in a fictional post-apocalyptic world. Digging through the rubble of the once thriving planet, you come across a copy of a US $1 bill with the two-sided Great Seal of the United States joined in the middle by the phrase, "In God We Trust." Upon consideration, you ask yourself, what God did this refer to? And with no preconceptions, you allow the symbolism on the seal to speak for itself, from which you quickly determine that this had been a great culture who worshipped Egyptian and Greek deities, especially a particular solar one whose all-seeing eye glares from atop an unfinished Egyptian pyramid. Upon further investigation into the specific beliefs of the strange group whose members had influenced the Great Seal, you discover from their highest masters, including one illustrious Albert Pike, that the sun god they venerated so highly had been known to them at various times in history by the names Apollo, Osiris, and Nimrod, end quote.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order, where diverse nations are drawn together in common cause to achieve the universal aspirations of mankind: peace and security, freedom, and the rule of law.
This is an historic moment. We have in this past year made great progress in ending the long era of conflict and Cold War. We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
So, you guys heard a sitting U.S. president say that. Is he a conspiracy theorist? Because typically when people talk about the New World Order and talk about a conspiracy to get all the nations back together that God scattered in the book of Genesis, people say, oh, they're conspiracy theorists. So I guess this president, who's a Skull and Bones member, he started off in the CIA. He went from CIA director to vice president to president. And he's talking about creating a New World Order. And he's part of a global or world group who are all a part of this. Council on Foreign Relations member, Trilateral Commission member, Bilderberger, Bohemian Grove member. Are all of those people conspiracy theorists too? All those people worship a God who's a fallen angel. His name is Lucifer, the God that controls this world. The same fallen angel, and I'm saying God with a little g, but the same fallen angel who was being worshipped as a God upon earth, he the one who told Jesus, look, these are all my kingdoms, and I give them to whoever I want. All you got to do is bow down and worship me, and I will give them to you. So he's the prince of the power of the air who's in control of all of this stuff. He's the spiritual wickedness in high places, him and his angels, the principalities, the thrones, the dominions. Those are the people who are orchestrating this New World Order. That's who they take their marching orders from. That's why when Junior Bush W, when he became president in his inaugural address, he said, don't you guys know there's an angel in the whirlwind that directs this storm? That's the words he used. An angel in the whirlwind that directs this storm. Who's the angel you guys think he's talking about? He's talking about the fallen angel Lucifer. I did a video called War, the Real Enemies We Face, or something to that effect. I will repost that, where I have his inaugural address, George Bush Jr. inaugural address, and I break down an angel in the whirlwind. I will repost that, so be on the lookout for that. So let's turn to the book of Isaiah chapter 14. We're going to read verses 12 through 15. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? He weakened the nations with a group of people that scattered. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven, and I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, and I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, and I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. So Lucifer's going to get cut down, tossed into hell, in the lake of fire, and destroyed. But a lot of people, they worship him because he gave them earthly wisdom, he gave them earthly power, he gave them riches, wealth, men, women, fame, fortune, whatever you want. Lucifer, the son of the morning. That's who they worship, Lucifer, the son of the morning.
One of the joys for me in the music business is watching a new artist develop into their own. I mean, that shit just bring me joy, like to see an artist come from nothing and then, they known, he has a name. That's Kanye West. That's Kanye West. He signed an autograph. I love that shit. And right now, this nigga, he's just delivering it. And the passion he got for his music, I don't think it's gonna stop. Kanye came and motherfucking did his job, did he? Did he not? God damn.
This record ain't a record, it's a movie and shit. It's like a scene from a movie. Yeah, like the basis of a classic album. take it and this is the verse I want you to do for me. I gotta get these devils out my life. Said I would stop smoking tonight. The next morning the niggas still high. Where I would stop cheating on my wife. I was fucking the bitches same night. I swear I was gonna let that nigga slide. That night that nigga died.
Yes, this is holy war. I wet y'all all with the holy water. Spray from the heck floor and catch automatic on a static. Shall cease to exist like a sabbatical. When I throw a couple at you, take 6. The more you talk, the more you irking us. The more you gon' need memorial services. The Black Album, second verse is like devil's pie. Say some dessert for us. Spread love to all of my dead thugs. I pour out a little Louis to a head above. And when I perish, the meek shall inherit the earth. Till that time it's on and poppin' church.
That's my word. I never read the Bible in my life. I don't even know how I know that.
Yeet.
Oh my God, leave that.
Yeet.
So there it is. You know, and these fallen angels, with Lucifer being their chief, he's the chief one, controlling the demons and the fallen angels. They are orchestrating this new world order plan from the second heaven. That's why God said we don't wrestle against flesh. We are dealing with spiritual wickedness in high places. And they're using these nations. That's why God said, you know, you will be cut down because you weaken the nations. They're using these nations to create a one-world government, a one-world currency, and a one-world religion, where Lucifer, in the form of the Antichrist, will be worshipped as God. Because see, he got kicked out of heaven, so he said, I can no longer serve in heaven. I will reign and serve on the earth and be worshipped as a God on earth. And that's what all of this stuff is about. That's what the book of Revelations describes, if you guys understand it. That's prophecy. And they want to use Israel and the Palestinian war to draw everybody in so they can destroy the 3 largest monotheistic religions, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. They want to use the West to battle against the Islam or Muslim world, or Christianity or Christians to battle the Muslims, and both of them will be destroyed. Atheism will be destroyed, and only the pure doctrine of Luciferianism will reign. That's exactly what Madame Blavatsky, Alice Bailey, Annie Besant, that's what they all said, that Lucifer is the savior of mankind, and he requires adornment and worship. And that at the end of the world, that the pure Luciferian doctrine will be the one and only religion. That's why the book of Revelation said you must worship the beast and receive his mark. It's the mark of Lucifer, and it's the worship of Lucifer. And that's why people who receive the mark of the beast will be condemned to go to hell and be destroyed, because you decide to take your worship from God and give it to a fallen angel. That's what it's all about. So I could go into a lot of more details, but I want to just give you guys a big macro view of what's going on so you guys can see it. And I mean no harm to anybody that's involved in the Freemasonic Lodge, but the lodge is the vehicle that is being used to bring all this stuff about. It is what it is. So that's all I have for you guys for today. I will be back with more videos, and I will repost some of my old videos that I did on my old channel. My old channel was destroyed and taken down by YouTube. Guess I was a little bit too controversial for them, so they took my channel down. So I came back up with Harvest is Plenty 3. So you guys stay alert out there. Don't let them people fool you. Continue to pray without ceasing. Remember, Jesus loves you. I love you guys too. God bless.
In a letter dated 22 January 1870, Mazzini wrote to Pike. Now, Albert Pike is this high Mason who wrote the manual, if you like, of Scottish Freemasonry. He said the following: "We must allow all of the federations to continue just as they are. It must appear as things are as they were in the beginning, with their systems, their central authorities, and diverse modes of correspondence between high grades of the same right, organized as they are at present, but we must create a super right, which will remain unknown, to which we will call those Masons of high degree, whom we shall select. With regard to our brothers in Masonry, these men must be pledged to the strictest secrecy. Through this supreme right, we will govern all Freemasonry, which will become the one international center, the more powerful because its direction will be unknown." Now, Albert Pike wrote a letter to Mazzini, and that was dated August 15, 1871, in which he propagated that there should be a world order, a one order where all nations are under the control of one central organization. And in order to achieve this, they planned, and there are numerous quotes for this, so I've put a number on the screen because some will say, I don't trust this, I don't trust that, I don't trust the other. Here are references down there, there are references up there, there will be references in other slides, so it comes from different sources. He said, and this was, by the way, on display in the British Museum, and could be seen there until it was taken away. The First World War, to overthrow the power of the Tsars in Russia, protector of orthodoxy, and bring about an atheistic communistic state. Did that happen? Yes. Now that was written long before this event. Long before this event. This was written in 1871. This war broke out in 1914. The Second World War, that's also written long before the event, to originate between Great Britain and Germany, to strengthen communism as antithesis to the Judeo-Christian culture, and bring about a Zionist state in Israel. Did it achieve this objective? Yes. In fact, after this war, Israel, in its present form, was reinstated under the protection of Britain. And then, interestingly enough, a Third World War, a Middle Eastern war involving Judaism and Islam and spreading internationally. That's fascinating. Is that on the cards, or what do you think? Certainly sounds like we are on track. Well, here's another quote, just in case people don't like that quote. Mazzini with Pike developed a plan for 3 world wars so that eventually every nation would be willing to surrender its national sovereignty to a world government. The first war was to end the Tsarist regime in Russia, the second to allow the Soviet Union to control Europe, the Third World War was to be in the Middle East between Muslim and Jews and would result in Armageddon. Interesting. Now, how were they going to do it? Let's read what Albert Pike wrote about these wars and how they were going to be unleashed. He wrote, quote, "We shall unleash the nihilist and the atheist," so the destroyer and the atheist, "and we will provoke a formidable social cataclysm which in its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism. origin of savagery and the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the minority of revolutionaries will exterminate these destroyers of civilization, and the multitude, disillusioned with Christianity, will receive the pure light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer. The destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. Wow, what a clever plan. So you rub the two systems which you create up against the other. You create atheism as an antithesis to the Judeo-Christian culture. You have these two clash until they rub each other up, and then out of that you will get a new world order where you have a new religion which is far more esoteric and actually honors Satan. Isn't that a rather clever plan? Well, it's very successful. That is why Ordo ab Cao is the verse, if you like, that Freemasonry uses. This is one of their documents, remember, that I photographed in a Masonic lodge.
Lucifer, what is your problem?
Just that, sir.
Okay.
I'm a Christian, sir.
I'm pure and virtuous and wholesome and innocent. How can you say anything bad about me?
Sir, you need to be born again.
I am born again.
Now, did you just say that you are Lucifer?
I am Lucifer.
Okay, define Lucifer for me.
Pure, virtuous, wholesome, innocent individual that's out to help people.
Lucifer is?
Yeah.
Say that again. Lucifer is a pure, holy...
Virtuous.
Virtuous. Now, is he the Lucifer that God created?
That's the same one.
Oh, man, this is great. I'm going to put this on the internet.
Oh,
Amen.
God bless you,
Amen.
brother.
Because that's exactly what the Shriners and Masons teach, is that Lucifer is light.
No.
And you're,
what
you're
about
confirming
those hospitals?
You know what, sir? Jesus said, many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, we did not do these good deeds in your name. And you'll say, away from me, you workers of iniquity. I never knew you.
Jesus said it?
In Matthew chapter 5.
Mercy.
No.
That's hard to believe.
So you're a Christian and you don't know that? Actually,
no, I really am.
You are.
Because I'm pure and virtuous.
You're pure and virtuous, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. In other words, you're perfect without Jesus, right?
No.
Okay, tell me about Jesus. Who is Jesus?
Well, he's my leader.
Is he the Son of God?
Yes, he is.
Is he the only worshipful master?
Yes.
Have you ever been called worshipful master?
No, because I've just been too busy. I've been working.
Working?
Been working to help people.
What
like
kind
you.
of work? Okay.
Get out of here.
See, this is what a Mason confesses, is that Lucifer is light. You heard it